Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan, an Olympian and beach volleyball world champion and a longtime professional indoor player.
And I'm Adam, former indoor player and coach, current beach volleyball coach, and most importantly, Sarah's husband.
Today we are watching season 3, episode 2 of Haikyu called The Threat of the Left.
I love that title for multiple reasons. That's you in general.
Because I'm left-handed.
And you're very good.
Thanks. We ended last episode with Nishinoya getting blown up by Ushijima and looking at him grinning like, I see you.
Ushijima had a little stare down too, which I like.
Hello, left. They just wanted to set the tone for the match and be like, here you go, try to stop our man. Man is an understatement though, because Kirasino kind of looks like children next to him.
But they all look big. Like Redhead looks bigger than Ushijima. Ushijima. No, that's the
We'll try our best.
Well, let's see where we go. It's a new team. Cut me some slack. I'm doing pretty well with the names, I think.
We have to be patient here.
But their whole team they look like big boys. So we'll see what happens.
Historically #1 school in the prefecture, yeah.
I wonder
how the big boys.
I wonder how they generally do at nationals.
I mean,
is that a spoiler? Is historical data a spoiler?
I don't know.
Are we talking like are they in the semis often? Are they making
I don't think they're winning. They're definitely not winning.
Okay. I'm curious. Now I'm really curious. You decide whether that's a spoiler or not. I don't know if it has any bearing on
future
episodes, but that is something that I would be curious to know.
The game is underway. 1 point in. We got a long way to go.
I'm gonna say this episode, my prediction is the score will be like under 15.
In the first set?
In the first set.
Well, let's find out. Our boys and our cheer squad have got a big challenge ahead of them.
Outmatched on both fronts.
That is tough. So let's not wait any longer. Let's go. Let's dive in. Season 3, episode 2 of Haikyu is coming right now.
I also enjoyed playing against good players.
Yeah. He was still getting low as the ball got to him.
Oh, he's not worried. You gotta pass it. No.
Wait.
Pass it.
Oh, no!
Yes. They're nervous. Not helpful. That's really interesting coming from Sue.
We haven't seen this side of him.
Yes, he did. Set her down.
Okay. Best contact so far.
One to one side, one to the other side.
3本ください。必ず慣れてみせます。
Good. The team, that was a good team dynamic play.
向こうの一番左利き？だから右から助走するんだ。竜とかは左からだもんね。
そうそう。いやー、ほんと選ばれしエースって感じだよな。牛若のポジションはオポジットって言って、セッターの対角に当たる場所だ。カラスノでは沢村のいるところな。ここの選手がどういう動きをするかで、そのチームの戦術がだいぶ変わってくる。一つは沢村のようにオールラウンドで器用だったり守備の上手い選手を置くパターン。高校チームではこれが多い。もう一つは牛若のような大砲を置くパターン。
The other option is to have a cannon on the right side.
前衛後衛どっちにいようが常に攻撃できる。
That's always my preference.
一昔前はスーパーエースとか呼ばれてましたね。
Was that over top? That's their biggest block combo, and he swung like they weren't even there. That's tough. Okay.
We got a point, baby!
5-1. Well, that was a better cheer. I mean, to be expected. Let's be honest.
普段右利き
He
を
a
相
big
手に
boy,
す
he
ることの
jumps
方
high,
が
hits the
断
ball
然
hard.
多い分、左利き相手ってのは予想以
Hey,
上
look at we talked about that. Look
例
at
え
you.
ば一人でブロックに飛ぶ場合、相手の利き腕の正面に飛ぶとなると利き手によって肩1個分違うわけだから、よほど単調な攻撃でもない限り勝負は一瞬の判断だ。体に染み込んだ感覚で飛べば時間差。どうしたって食い違う。
He gave him a lot of real estate on his left hand.
All of their lineups are just a little bit off.
強いってわけじゃなく、左搭載の上、
His eyes.
さらに火力は最強クラス。
It's like he has no eye
それ
lids
が
at
牛若だ
all.
ろうな。
立ち上がり4連続で牛島くんですか。
ああ、向こうのセッターは手堅い系みたいだし、スタートダッシュ確実に決めたいってのもあるだろうな。
Yeah, you always feed the ace.
Feed the plant.
I mean, this is also an annoying thing, and you would never have experienced this because you were always the ace. But setters in important games generally feed the best player, try and get them going early, and everyone else twiddles their thumbs until they can be part of the offense.
Wow, you seem really offended by that.
No,
As you like scoff as you say it.
No, I'm laughing because this is what I would do as a coach, right? If your best player is in rhythm and feeling good, it's obviously good for your team and bad for the other team. And now he'll probably start to slowly work the other players into the offense.
Well, yeah, there are certain players that need to be in a rhythm. And your ace is one of them. Or if your opposite is like Ushijima, your opposite needs to be in a rhythm because they're like the garbage can on the court. Oh, everything's broken down, it's a terrible play. Feed it to the garbage can, let him deal with it. So like if a player's like that's not in rhythm, it is so hard for them to be able to score those points. So be mad all you want.
I'm not mad. I'm just saying it's typical and it's a good strategy. It can just be frustrating for the other players on the team because everybody wants to be in rhythm, but there's a hierarchy of who you get in rhythm first. That's just the way it goes.
Well, Ushijima is a typical opposite / right side player. A typical opposite, as they very nicely explained, I thought, their job is to score points, whether it's attacking, blocking, or serving aces. Daichi is an atypical opposite in that he is there more for ball control, defensive purposes, and to get the odd swing in. So when you're performing a variety of other skills, you can work yourself into the game in other ways, but when your objective on the court is to score points, it's really hard. Like,
I totally agree with you.
You're not receiving, it's like considered bonus if you play defense, basically.
You're not wrong.
Like, there are opposites that can, for sure, but like, when your role is to be the point scorer, if that's not working for you, it's just, you're kind of like, what am I doing here?
It's a long day. Yeah, fair enough. I was just laughing.
Somebody's a little jelly.
As a middle, you want to get set too. So I'm feeling all the other players.
あれ、何のブザー？あ、これテクニカルタイムアウトです。何それ？5セットマッチの時にだけ入るタイムアウトで、どちらかが8点と16点
This
に
is
な
a
った
good
時に入り
education
ます。
episode.
だそうです。
I don't know if that's a TV timeout.
ブロックはとにかくタイミング
Oh,
を
they
つかむ
literally
こと
just said it. It's a technical timeout at 8 and 16.
No, I-
Apparently Adam's never played volleyball before.
止められなくても触れ。牛島に壁があることを意識させるんだ。
I was wondering if they did the 5 set and they did all of this because this match was on TV, or if it was just normal.
No, back when we were in high school and stuff, it was very typical. They've changed it now because there's the challenge system. But it was.
Yeah, no, I
いいぞ、今のでいい。壁はいるぞと主張し続けろ。そうすれば道は開ける。
白鳥沢に牛若あり。ならカラスのには俺アリスから。
そうだな。牛島のすべての攻撃を止める、あるいは拾うなんて無理な話だ。でも拾えないスパイクは拾えるようにすればよし。トータルディフェンスだ。ここまでの試合を見て、おそらく牛島の得意であろうクロス側をブロックでがっちり締めて、開けたストレート側に西野矢を配置。リベロのところへ打たせるように仕向けろ。
I mean, this shouldn't be like a whole concept. That should be the idea always, but. Okay, buddy, that's number 3.
yeah. Nah, you've gotta.
This is like kind of embarrassing.
優が拾えないなんて手に負えないじゃ
You're
ん。
not wrong.
回転のせいじゃないですかね。左利きは単純に右利きとはスパイクを打った時の回転のかかり方が変わるんです。バレーはボールを持てない球技、さらにボールを捉える面は非常に狭い。だからボールを捉える一瞬、その当たり方がほんのわずか違うだけで、それは大きなズレを生む。
チャンスボール。くそ、すいません。
タイミング早かった。
Oh my gosh. He's putting on a clinic here.
Oh yeah. And he's making it look
ディフェンス
easy.
って言ったってタイミング合わせるだけでもそう簡単じゃない。
一本集中。
牛若のスパイク止められそう？
僕が牛若に勝てるわけないじゃん。
牛若ばっか警戒しすぎた。
あのメガネはやる気あんのか？もっと闘志を見せろよ、闘志を。
この辺はさすがにうまく速攻挟んでくるな。
早くあの左利きをなんとかしないと。右に慣れてしまった感覚っていうのはどうしようもないですもんね。
We'll take it.
少なくとも今日は感覚で動くタイプとは真逆に位置する選手ですよ。あいつは自分の力を信じてない。培ってきた感覚も信じてない。
Yeah.
兄貴がそういうこと言う？
褒めてんですよ。 うちの弟はね、がっかりするほど冷静なんです。信じるのは目の前の情報だけ。よし。
I mean, he did everything right in the last one. He's just not... They're playing different games right now.
Oh, it's honestly hard to watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have so much anxiety. My heart just feels like it's a crumpled up piece of paper.
But this is unfortunately part of the evolution of becoming really good.
You gotta get beaten down a few times.
There's always generally somebody better, and they've worked so hard to get where they are right now, and this is a success. This season was a success. But there are more levels, and you're seeing now what one player is doing to them. And it's, we don't see it necessarily, but you set him that much, then everybody starts focusing on him, then the smart setter runs a quick here, runs a ball outside, then you go, oh man, we gotta refocus, and then you jack 3 back out to the big guy who's pitting against no block. You're
chasing.
Yeah.
You're always trying to catch up, and you're just, yeah.
And hopefully, best case scenario for them, Noya gets settled in, makes a few digs, and they can start to kind of level the decision making a little bit. But it's not looking positive. So here's my question for you. Have you ever been in this situation? Have you ever been Karasuno?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you have a match that like comes into mind for you?
Well, when I played for our national team, indoor, it was like...
Fair enough.
Just like... Yeah, the pieces just weren't all there. And you would play a team at the time, like the US, who was... They've always been good, but they were outstanding back then as well. And that's what it feels like. It just feels like you're constantly chasing them and like... Yeah, there's so many though.
Yeah.
Like pro indoor, it's happened. Certain time on the beach has happened where you're just, nothing is working and you're just like, what am I doing here?
Fair enough. I was just curious.
But you know that.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting for people to hear about. You're one of the best. Your credentials are impeccable. You've done what most people haven't done. And so to know that everybody goes through that on your journey to being good, I think is interesting.
今 K はスパイクのコースに入ってた。位置は左に合わせて修正できてた。なのに
Hit the gym, baby.
惜しいぞ西野や。牛若のスパイクに反応してんだから。俺が触ったあのスパイクは全力のやつじゃねえな。まだエンジン温め中だろうし、ブロックの上とか隙間を確実に抜くことを最優先してただろうから。
中学の時、左利きのやつとやったパスがすっげえやりづらくて覚えてる。
牛若の打球は何度も狂気ってことだな。
月つけ指大丈夫？
ちょっとリズミカルに言うのやめてくれない？
やる。貸して。
すいません。こんなのいつものことでしょ。っていうか、これくらいで収まってくれたらラッキーだよ。
I feel you, buddy.
よし。
すいません。さっき僕はひるんだのか。いや、負けると思ったんだ。それが当然であるように。
Ooh, I really like that from him. I know I have a soft spot and I know I really like him. I will admit that up front, but that's not a reaction from him I think we would have seen earlier in the season. So I'm excited that he's pushing and he wants to be better and he's thinking about it and there's a little bit of fighting spirit there.
And even from a practical standpoint, any any time you do something half speed, that is when you get injured.
Agreed.
You need to be dialed in and focused, whether it's practice, a game, whatever, because whenever you like go halfway, that's when you like break a finger, that's when you sprain your ankle. Like, seriously, it's crazy.
Agreed.
Take notes. Just kidding.
みんな顔がこわばってますよ。リラックスリラックスリラックス。
Being told to relax never works.
牛島君はサーブもすごかったですよね。
及川みたいな化け物決定率やコントロールはないが、威力は言わずもがなだからな。
They just look like amateurs up there.
なんなのあいつ。
これ以上離されると精神的にもきついな。
Let's crack double digits.
I guess I was a little ambitious with my
サーブレ
20.
シーブがないポジションでよかった。あんなのまともに取れる方がおかしいし、もう会場の空気も完全に白鳥さ。1セット目を落とすのはもう仕方ないとして、まず
俺に来い。サッカー。
That's what you want out of your libero. Daichi, let him have it. Nice form.
Oh. Woo! Standards are low right now, everybody. It's in the air. Yes!
Ooh, the sidearm.
Program's like, ooh, I can set. It's like time for me to bring out some of my non-good.
有言実行の3本目か。負けてらんね。
スパイクモーションからのセットアップ。さすがは及川の後輩ですね。
あいつそうなの？やだね。対白鳥沢相手なのに、お前余裕だな。
俺、今んとこ及川さんより怖いもんないんだ。
He's like, I've already done the scariest thing.
That's a great way to look at it.
超陽が出てきた。1回目に出てきた時はあっという間にローテーション回っちゃいましたからね。一発決めたれ。ナイスー。
ほんとちっちゃいよな。あれでミドルブロッカーなんだもんな。
本当だ。あいつサーブ取らない。
バックアタックに備えてんだな。
Ooh, a little off speed.
Yeah.
一人しかさ。
Okay, that was close.
白鳥沢も決してミスが少ないわけじゃない。つけ入る隙はあります。
Okay.
Alright, alright.
Kageyama's holding it together. He
Yeah.
is the only one who's like started out the match like decently calm.
Nice ナイスレシブ。いや、ちゃんと返せなかった。
いちいち張り合って疲れないのお前。行くぞ、影
I'm
山。
not even gonna say anything to you. That was a great pass.
I don't know their team dynamic well enough, but that's kind of funny. Listen here, you little pup. You're not even worth complimenting yet.
His hair is
Yeah.
a lot. Okay, so since 17-9, they've played side-out volleyball.
Yep.
So they've kind of settled in, I would say.
Yeah.
They're not at the point that they're stealing any points, but their side-out seems to have evened itself.
And honestly, I mean, it's not great to lose the first set, but given they're nervous, given they're getting used to the pace of the ball, the size of the opponent, and it's 5 sets, like it's a bad way of thinking about it, but you kind of have you have one throwaway.
I mean, some people think that, but...
But what I'm saying is, if all things were equal, they could still win this match, and losing this one isn't a big deal. If they can kind of find a speed and keep up, but we'll see.
We haven't seen that attack to jump set sideways move from Kageyama before.
No.
Wow. And it's kind of annoying when you play against somebody like it, but when like you get an ace and then they stare at you and are like, serve me again. It's like kind of weird when you're like in the moment, but like if that person's on your team, it's cool.
Yeah. Well, and it allows, I think Noya's helping take pressure off the rest of the team, like the rest of the passers. He's trying to go, and especially, I will say this, there is definitely ego at play in young boys volleyball. And so if you're smart, I mean, you can manipulate people. Looking at the server going, you can't serve, like,
Easy.
There are definitely people who would be like, oh yeah, I'll watch this and come after you, even if that's not the game plan. So it's not a terrible idea.
Or just bury it in the net because they're trying to hit it so hard.
Yeah. So I'm alright with Noya doing that for sure.
No, if he's on my team, 100%.
Yeah. Alright. He's getting the read. Ooh, good recycle. You don't hit hard enough now.
He knows how to receive too?
Oh, I love that. I love everything about
Like,
that.
let me show this kid how you really hit a ball.
Hey, 自分にしか興味なさげな若年くんが張り合ってるよ。面白い。
まだまだこっから切り替え。
次若年くん、カラスノの10番と知り合い？
道であった。
道？
俺を倒して全国へ行くと言っていた。
え、道で？
いや、道ではなく。
He definitely does remind me of
そういえ
Ryu.
ば牛島さん部外者を校内に入れて怒られてましたね。
面白いカラスノの10番だから気に入ったんだ。
いや嫌いだ。根拠のない自信は嫌いだ。
おろろろ、ますます珍しい。若年くんにそんなこと言わせるなんてなんか楽しませてくれそう。俺も頑張っちゃおうっと。
焦ることはねえぞ。
I know maybe he's not the most polished person, but I really like everything about that.
About Ushijima?
Yeah.
He's not the most polished person.
I mean, there's just... You're gonna come to my school, you're gonna stand there and grab this ball, and then you're gonna look at me, a nobody, and tell me you're gonna beat me and go to nationals. let me tell you, I would not forget that either.
No, but to be fair, like, Hinata was just responding to everything that Ushijima was saying of like, you come from infertile soil, you cannot bloom.
I totally understand that, but think about when you listen to really great athletes, and you and I have talked about this, but they find reasons to get fired up and to pummel people into the ground. You can't tell me that if some young 19-year-old came up to you while you were playing beach and was like, I'm coming to take your title, and you had no idea who that person was, the next time you stepped onto the court, you would make a point of kicking the snot out of that person.
100%. Exactly. Like, I am going to actually embarrass you now.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. Hinata runs his play, does a good recycle, he yawns, makes his dig, and looks at his setter and goes, you had better set me this ball, and I'm gonna break your fingers. And I love that.
To be fair, like, I would never go up to a kid and be like, you're never gonna beat me. You're nothing, who loses to them, blah, blah, blah. Like that's kind of what started it. So to be fair, I would never do that. But if somebody came after me unprovoked, you best believe that I'm out to like embarrass you.
And then I think his line is interesting about the unfounded confidence. What do you think about that?
I would say, you can hate me for saying this, but I would say I am an elitist. And like unfounded confidence, like I can relate to Ushijima in that regard, because it's like when you have been training, in his case, like if you've been training your whole life and you have been like honing your skills to be as dominant as you are, and then some like nobody comes along and is like, I'm going to nationals, I'm gonna beat you. It's like insulting. It's completely insulting. So I can relate to him with that. I can also understand, and I know everybody, go ahead and get mad at me for this, but to this point, Hinata has no reason. Like, he hasn't done anything. You know, this is like the second tournament they've played. They didn't do well in the first one they played. Like, trust me, believe in yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself, but like, read the room.
Yeah. And I think that's what I was gonna say. I'm okay with Hinata having confidence.
Yeah, be confident. Like, how are you? You need to grow. You need to believe in yourself to achieve your dreams. I get it, but like, it would be like me going up to like LeBron James and being like, I'm gonna take you down. Like, no, I'm not. That's just embarrassing and that's disrespectful to him.
Yeah. I think that you can, like, Karasuno has worked hard. They have earned a level of their confidence, and Hinata has come a long way, but there is I call it like a quiet confidence versus a cocky confidence, and Hinata kind of crossed that line without having the resume or the chops to do it. Uchijima is also cocky confident, but he's
won stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So I liked that whole interplay.
I could hear your enthusiasm and your breathing.
Yeah. So what?
5セットマッチの1セット目を取られただけだ。で、このセットだが、牛島の得点は11点。半分近い点を叩き出している。だがな、牛島にボールが集まるということは、それだけ白鳥沢を崩しているということ。牛島だって人間だ。必ずスタミナの限界がある。直接点になっていない攻撃も必ず後々効いてくる。忘れんな。はい。
サッカー。しょっぱな決めろよ、トム。はい。
I'm gonna threaten you.
There we go.
シンクロ攻撃。
That reminds me of a Demon Slayer attack. Alright.
か乱させられたな。厄介ですね。
First win of the board. First lead of the series.
Nice.
白鳥沢の場合、牛島を外してセンター線を積極的に使ってくるのは余裕の表れだ。そしてセンター線が機能し始めれば牛島たちウィングスパイカーに手がつけられなくなってしまう。俺たちにとってこの試合最大の課題は当然牛島なわけだが、まずは対牛島の構図を作らなくちゃ話にならない。そのためにはとにかく相手を崩すこと、威力の高い攻撃を叩き込み続けることだ。
よし、見出した。牛島さん。
Yeah, maybe get hit by that ball.
点は取られても今の形にするのがいいんですよね。
ああ。
またいつのそうか。
I don't think he skips that. Oh,
I would be so mad if I was
embarrassing.
I would be so angry. I hit you in the face and you scored the point.
牛若、ギャフンと言わしたら。日向は牛若と何かあったの？なんか一悶着あったらしいです。は？知らんとこでタコと何かあるやつだな。
She's sneaking off to other schools.
守るなよ。臆せず攻撃し続けろ。そこにしか攻略の道はねえ。
Good touch.
チャンスボール。よこせ。また斜め飛び。
That's a good block.
若年君を倒したければ俺を倒してから行け。ってな。
It's starting to get a little fun, a little back and forth. You're starting to see a little chirping and trash talking on the court. I'm all for it.
I know I said this in my solo watch, but just for reference, a good, I would say even an outstanding set is like if you score 6 or 7 points individually, that is like outstanding.
Oh, 100%.
11.
That's epic.
Wow. Like, you see most players getting 2, maybe 3 points in a set. So just for perspective there.
Oh yeah, he was unconscious in that first set.
I know what I want to say, but what are your thoughts on how to beat them?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Sure.
I mean, I think his strategy is accurate. You want to eliminate Utajima being able to score.
There's no T in his name, but we'll work on it.
Clean balls. You want him hitting out of system as much as possible against a 3-man block. Like, I like the strategy. Noya's gonna need to step up and make some digs. You want to make his life as difficult as possible and try and get him out of rhythm. And that way maybe you have a chance to get some off-speed ones. Like, he's gonna score, but make his life difficult. That's what I would start with, and starts with serving, taking them out of system. What are you thinking?
My thought was they're gonna have to just go to the baseline and hammer on serves, because Ushijima in and of himself is hard enough to stop, but they will be virtually impossible if they have options.
Yeah, agreed.
So the fact that they're able to run the middle, no. Like, you're not gonna beat them if they can choose who they're giving the ball to. So I would say just you need to make Ushijima the only option.
Yeah. I think we're kind of saying the same thing in terms of making his life difficult. I agree with you though. If they can run their full offense and they have him, they're going to be in trouble. And I don't know that they serve well enough to be able to do that. Like all 6 of them serve well enough. They have a couple. But
yeah. Tendo, the middle blocker, is a little creepy to me.
I kind of liked his move at the end there, and I'm totally fine with him giving Hinata a little chirp after that.
He's got his boys back.
Yeah.
Definitely we got the showcase of how good Ushijima is in that episode.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can turn it around here.
I think if they can keep Ushijima to, let's say, 6 or 7 points.
8 points.
This set, that's a win, like moving in the right direction. Again, I think they're outmatched. I don't think they can win this game, but get used to it, build some points up, score some points, run your offense, see what happens.
Let us know your thoughts. Please be sure to let us know what you're thinking in the comments below. And as always, we'd be so excited if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more Shira Torizawa versus Karasuno next week. Thanks, guys.